El Camino Health, the standard of excellence, delivering compassionate care in the South Bay. For more than 60 years, we've been your first choice, helping you live your best life. From staying healthy to getting you back to what you live for. Every national recognition is a show of strength. Another success story, built on trust. We're the neighbor always here, for you and your family. El Camino Health, our strength, your health.
95.3 WBCK now presents Coach's Corner, live from Lakeview Ford. For over 6 decades, this has been your number one source for all local sports information. Coach's Corner is proudly presented by Lakeview Ford, where community matters. Now, here's your host, Bill Broderick.
This is Bill Broderick, sports editor of the Battle Creek Enquirer, in the big chair once again on WBCK for another week of Coach's Corner, coming to you live from downtown Battle Creek at Lakeview Ford Lincoln on the Motor Mile. For more than 60 years, Coach's Corner has been talking to the city high school coaches about the week in sports. We are turning the page here on Coach's Corner with our first boys basketball show of the year. We will spend today talking to our city coaches about the upcoming season, which starts for most of the teams in the area on December 2nd. Next week, Coach's Corner will be off for Thanksgiving weekend. After that, we will be back weekly talking about city hoops. Before we continue, here's the Lakeview Ford Lincoln Coach's Corner scoreboard. There are no area games to talk about, of course, but throughout the state, there are state semifinals for football taking center stage this weekend. All those teams trying to get to Ford Field for the state championships on Thanksgiving weekend. Here in Battle Creek, Kellogg Arena is hosting the state finals in volleyball with championship matches going all day. The first one starts at 10 a.m. for Division 4, and they go 10, noon, 2, and 4 after that. So a lot of good volleyball downtown Battle Creek at Kellogg Arena. We will be back with our first coach of the morning after this commercial. This is Coach's Corner on WBCK 95.3 FM.
Coach's Corner on WBCK, brought to you by Lakeview Ford, where community matters. Now back to the show.
This is Bill Broderick, sports editor of the Battle Creek Enquirer, back here on Coach's Corner. We're here with our first coach of the morning, Coach Robbie Hatton of the Penfield Panthers. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Bill. How's things going today?
Hey, real good. Thanks for calling in. I know you got practice this morning, so we're going to catch up with you a little bit about the season coming up. Exciting season for the Penfield Panthers after a lot happening last year in your first year as head coach. You guys had a share of the Interstate 8 Conference Championship. You went 18-5 overall, and you're bringing back a lot of scoring from that team, from that starting lineup. So talk about how excited you are about the season this year.
Yeah, year 2 is always exciting, just to see how the kids respond after a year, especially the year we had last year. Everything's coming a lot quicker together this year. We're really far ahead right now. We were just actually talking. We had our first preseason game scrimmage last night with Sturgis, and just where we're at this part of the year compared to last year with just where we're at in our system, understanding our calls, our plays, our schemes. Everybody's we're firing at all cylinders right now, and we won't have hopefully as many growing pains to start the year, and just understanding what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, Penfield went 18-5 overall last year, and you bring back 2 of the better players in the area, including all-city players Johnny Lake and Calvin Pazins, that they give you some diverse offense. They give you size. They're both 6'5", 6'6". Johnny Lake plays in the post. Calvin Pazins is an outside shooter, and they both were record-setting players last year. Johnny Lake had a school record for rebounds per game, and Calvin had broke the school record for three-pointers in a game. That's a great start for your season to have 2 of those guys to kind of lean on right away.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice having, some veteran leadership here. We talked about, just the team that's coming back. Obviously, Bill, you were just talking about those 2 guys, but, we really return, 5 kids, 6 kids that really played a lot of minutes for us last year. We're heavy rotation players, and then we have Alex Miller, who's a junior, who was on the JV team last year, who's who's returning. But, our top 7 right now really know our system really well, and we're trying to get the other guys caught up so they can get some more time too. But, obviously returning Johnny, he was an all-state player last year, honorable mention. Calvin, all-region player. Like you said, both were all-city. Returning those 2 guys are nice weapons to have. And then, we're expecting a huge jump out of Peyton Merlington this year. He was a sophomore on varsity last year. Played quite a bit of minutes and played a lot more towards the end than he did at the beginning as he kind of learned our system and how we wanted to play. And then obviously we return our starting guard, Dre Bailey, and then Brady Conley and Tommy Wright both played some big minutes for us last year. And so we're really relying on that core group right now. Out of that core group, 5 of them are seniors, and they know the system we're trying to do and the tempo we want to play at. And, obviously, the more that we can get done early, the better, so that we can start focusing on other people. And, we don't have to worry about so much coaching our guys up compared to, hey, let's game plan for our opponents and let's make sure we're dialed in and locked in. So, that's a really nice thing to have right now with just that veteran leadership.
They not only got a lot of playing time, a lot of minutes, that whole group last year, but they got a lot of time and a lot of minutes in important games. You guys played some big games down the stretch that meant a lot. And how much is that experience in playing in big games, playing all those minutes, how much is that going to help for you guys to have possibly a special season this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year we were able to have some adversity, and that's what you want, Bill. You want our kids to have adversity because we can't grow unless we have some adversity, unless we fail here and there. And, that's the one thing that, our guys really embraced last year was, hey, we wanted tight situations and we wanted to make sure we were making the right play in those situations. So, that's one more year of, hey, that's growth that we had. And, now this year, hopefully we're in those same situations and we're able to keep rising to the occasion on those times.
You guys have a lot to look forward to this year, and a lot of those key guys that we talked about. And there's not going to be a ton of minutes after that for other guys to come up for. But do you have some other young guys that we can talk about that you're hoping that are going to kind of get some minutes and see some growth and help you down the future a little bit, or see what you can have to keep this Penfield program strong?
Yeah, absolutely. Carter Bammer's another one of our juniors that had a pretty good year on JV last year, and hopefully we'll get Blake Lum back from injury. He had shoulder surgery during the football season, and he'll be out till probably mid-season. So, this early season, we'll see what these guys can do and go from there. But I'll tell you, Bill, we got a pretty tough non-conference schedule. So, we really wanted to test our kids this year and be battle tested. We start off our season 3 games in 5 days, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, let's talk about that start and then how important it is to get off to a good start, at least to gain some confidence. And some of those games in those early goings are non-conference games. As a coach, do you look at how things are going early and try to want to kind of have growing pains early, but with this kind of veteran group, you want to maybe hit the ground running and see some confidence early? How do you kind of leverage both those things for you?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to be tested. We opened the year with Galesburg Augusta, who won 19 games last year. They're a really good basketball program, really well coached. And then we go to Lakewood, and then we bring Niles Brandywine into here, who won the state title 2 years ago and have a great program. And it's just something that, hey, we want to be tested right away. Let's get a measuring stick right away. Let's see where we're at. We're not here to get some confidence wins. That's not what we're about. We don't want to schedule a team that we're going to blow out by 30 or 40 points to make us feel good. We want to be battle tested, and we want to play tough teams. We want to play teams that are going to bring us matchups that we have to really work hard to get these wins. We don't want to just show up and win. We want to test ourselves early, and we got a tough road right before break. The 22nd we go to Portland, who's one of the better teams in the area as well. So and that's right after we play Harper and Marshall. So we just want to be battle tested, Bill. We want to test our guys early, test our guys often. Make sure that we are all on the same page, and and we'll see what the season's going to bring.
What's the buzz around from the guys themselves when they came into practice? How excited were they to hit practice, and even though they were getting ready to do some suicides or some downbacks and stuff, but they have to be pretty excited about this season, considering what they have on the floor, and were they eager to get the balls out and get on the court?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Bill. You know, this team has a lot of excitement just for the fact that, hey, we know the season we had last year, and we did not get quite the goals we wanted last year, but, you know, we have goals this year, and we're working hard towards them every day. You know, I tell the kids, I said, you know, we can't just show up to practice, because newsflash, everybody in the team goes to practice. And everybody in the state, they go to practice and they work hard, if that makes sense. You know, you can't just work hard and expect to be good. You know, you have to focus on the details, focus on the little things, control what we can control. And the kids are excited, man. They're buzzing around, you know. I mean, even after last night, so we called it a exhibition game scrimmage against Sturgis, and it was a normal game, and those packed stands, you know, the buzz around the community is there, and you know, it's a good feeling to have right now.
I appreciate you calling in, Coach. We're excited about the Penfield season coming up, and we'll get going. We won't be talking about it next week for Thanksgiving weekend, but everyone will be playing that week after that, and we'll look forward to some games and get Penfield on the court. So I appreciate you calling in, Coach.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep. And we'll be back with our next Coach of the Morning after this on WBCK 95.3 FM.
Coach's Corner on 95.3 WBCK. Proudly brought to you by Lakeview Ford, where community matters. Here's Coach's Corner.
This is Bill Broderick, sports editor of the Battle Creek Enquirer, back here on Coach's Corner, here with our next Coach of the Morning, Coach Mike Kimber, the St. Phil Fighting Tigers. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Bill.
St. Phil had an exciting season last year. They kind of broke through after several years with a really young roster, and a lot of those guys grew up real fast last year and won a league championship and had nearly 20 wins overall, and a lot of those guys are coming back for this year, so you got a lot to be excited about. Let's talk about this season a little bit and what you have to look forward to.
Yeah, real excited. I mean, I think I had to track down 85% of the offense back, so really excited about the scoring, but we also got a great group of young guys coming in as well, and so it's going to be an interesting year. I mean, expectations are still high, but yeah, really excited.
Yeah, a lot of that comes from your returning seniors, your Diswick triplets, the Jackson, Carter, and Lincoln. All had breakout years last year, and they've all had great careers overall for St. Phil. They've all been playing this will be fourth or fifth season for some of them as they're coming in, and that's a lot for a coach to be able to lean on, to have, like you said, 85% of the offense coming back and those high scorers. Your leading rebounder, your point guard coming back. Those three guys, you've been watching them for a long time play, and they you know exactly what you're going to get from them. So you have to be excited about what they can do in their senior years.
Yeah, really excited about them. I mean, their game seems to go up to the next level every year. So really excited about where they're at right now. We're going to have to get some young guys up to speed, but I think them pushing them will definitely help. Jackson,
all city, all league, team's leading scorer last year with 18.7 points per game, a fifth year on the varsity this year. He has already passed 1,000 career points. Lincoln was your best front court player, all city honors himself, 14.5 points and 7.2 rebounds, led you in rebounds. Carter is your big verbal leader. He gives you all the emotion on the floor for you, the point guard. Honorable mention, all city himself, all league, honorable mention. There's a lot for those guys, and we know about them because we've seen them a lot on the court at Sheila Guerra Gymnasium. Let's talk about some of those young guys that are going to have to fill in the gaps, because you lost some seniors that you kind of leaned on to fill in those starting lineups the last couple of years, and now those guys are gone. So you're going to look for some really young guys, because you can't play 3-on-3 basketball, right?
Correct. Yeah, no, young guys. I mean, I got guys like Caleb Francisco, Cooper Rabbit, Ryder Weiss, which is Sawyer Weiss's younger brother, so it's nice to have a little continuity right there. But you know, Lorenzo Hockey Jones, he'll be a good player for us as well, and then also getting guys like Will Rappelj up to speed, and a few of the other young guys like Gio Lugo. Really excited about this group of freshmen that we got. They're talented. They all like basketball. Like that they watch it when they go home, which is kind of I haven't had too many guys in the crop over the few years that actually go home and watch basketball and love the game. Like, my guys talk about fantasy basketball all the time. And I love that. It's kind of it's a refresher because I mean, I'm a big NBA fan, so listening to them talk about NBA and social studies class is just kind of funny to me.
The idea that also that you have some young guys that's you've had the same group maybe the last couple of years that you've coached. You have some young guys now can kind of refresh you as a coach. You get to teach the offense a little bit more, get those guys rolling. And even though you have those veteran seniors coming back that know everything that you said and heard all your stories, but you have some young guys that are going to have their eyes wide open and getting ready to be coached and to be brought up. That kind of gives you a little bit of plus for yourself as going into the season, right?
Yeah, no, it feels refreshing, man. I loved coaching the guys that we've had for the past, but I mean, I talked to you off the radio before. I feel like I've been coaching the same group of kids for 3 years, and so it's kind of nice to get some fresh blood in there and, you know, really get hands-on with the development part of it. And yeah, really excited about them too. And they're really eager kids. They're eager to learn, and they're extremely coachable, which is one thing that I love about it. They just are making improvements day after day, and I love it.
Let's talk about the league a little bit. You guys won the league last year, the first time that you guys broke through and knocked Bellevue off the pedestal there, and you guys are the defending champs. So if you want to be the champs, you have to beat the champs. So you guys are gonna have a target on your back coming in, and I'm sure that's a big goal for you this year, to play well in the West Division of the SCAA. So you have some big games coming up there, and you have some big non-conference games that you're excited about too, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we want to go back to back in the conference, and we definitely feel like we can certainly do that. But yeah, non-conference games. We start the season off with Bronson, and then we go to Concord, who will be a really good Class D test for us because I think they'll probably be ranked in the top 10 for the state for Class D, and so getting them right off the rip. I mean, I kind of wish we would get them in February, a little bit closer for a playoff tune-up, but I think it's also going to be a great early season tune-up just to see kind of like where we are, kind of like a measuring stick game. And then I think we end the season with Portland St. Pat's, which is a pretty big Class D school as well, athletic. I know they had a good football program. So, yeah, really excited for the non-conference tasks that we have.
You had a special game the last couple of years where you went off campus and went to a college campus to play. What's in the works for that this year?
We don't have anything like that right now. Right now, I think we're still looking for an opponent for one game. So I don't know what that's going to look like. But yeah, we don't have anything like that on the schedule for this year.
In the SCAA, a lot of people know that Joe Costello stepped down from Bellevue. That makes it a big change in the league here. That he's been a constant there, and that really good teams. That leaves some question marks on what you're going to have to face there in the league. What do you know about the league so far, and have you got into that a little bit yet?
Yeah, I mean, I've looked into it a little bit already, and I mean, going off of previous tapes, I mean, I'm going to miss the heck out of Joe on the sideline. I mean, he was more like a mentor to me than a rival. But, yeah, I mean, Climax has got a good crop coming up. He's got his own kids, Ken Sadler's kids are coming up. They're good ball players. They were freshmen last year and played significant minutes on varsity, and so they'll be tough. I mean, Bellevue still has Levi Hughes and the Dahlem kid. I can't remember his first name, but they should still be pretty good. Mennon's got the Gorham twins. They'll be pretty solid. And also Burr Oak, they had a good season last year. They lost a lot, but they just always seem to be that gritty team that, if you have an off night with them, it's going to be a tough task.
The Diswick twins, triplets, I mean, the idea that they have done a lot, almost you could say they've done it all, but I'm sure they have goals for this season. They want to keep being pushed, so they want to accomplish some things. What's been the buzz with those guys as they kind of had their off season and gotten excited for this year, and maybe they want to get some things done that they have some personal goals and some team goals that they want to help CFL.
Yeah,
capture.
I mean we've talked about going back to back in the conference, but I think the big one right now is getting the monkey off the back and really getting a district title. We've come short year after year, and just finally getting that one off the back. That seems to be like the big push this year, is getting that one, getting a little bit longer of a postseason instead of getting knocked out in that first week. So that seems to be the goal for the team wise. I know Jackson, he's relatively close to Connor's scoring record, and so we would like to get that taken care of sooner than later, and so we don't have that lingering late in the season. But then also Carter's nearing 1,000 points, and I still have to do the math on Lincoln's, but I think Lincoln is relatively close enough where we think we can get 1,000 points for him career-wise this year. But I also have to maybe look through some filing cabinets or something at St. Phil, because I would be very curious to see his rebounding numbers all time. But I can't seem to find books from the old days at St. Phil. So
that's right. I'll give you some homework yourself there.
Yeah.
So what do you want to see as a coach when you're mixing this veteran group with some young guys? What do you want to see as a coach early on in some of these early games to know that you guys are on the right track?
I want to see some grit. I want to see some guys out there going out there, specifically with my young guys. I want to see them fighting and embracing the physicality of the varsity game. It's a step up from, because they're all freshmen, but they all played JV last year as 8th graders. It is quite a bit of a step up from JV to varsity, but I want to see that toughness come out of them. And I think most of them played football. I think actually all of them played football. No, one of them didn't. But I just want to see that toughness, and I think football is going to help them, because they're used to getting hit every day in practice and then getting hit every weekend. So I want to see that. And I kind of want to see just more like a smooth, gradual up climb throughout the whole season. I don't want to see like a stock market season where we're up, down, up, down, up, down. And I certainly think we can have that gradual climb, because these young kids, they're soaking it up right now, and I think once they really start to understand the offense and the defense, that they're going to take it and they're going to be just fine.
Well, there's a lot to be excited about for the St. Phil Tigers this year, and eager to get that going that first week, December 2nd. Everyone starts playing, and appreciate you, Coach, coming in. We'll catch up with you later.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks. We'll be back with our next Coach of the Morning after this break on WBCK 95.3 FM.
Coach's Corner on WBCK, brought to you by Lakeview Ford, where community matters. Now back to the show.
Yeah, this is Bill Broderick, sports editor of the Battle Creek Enquirer, back here on Coach's Corner. We're here with our next Coach of the Morning. We have Coach Durant Crum on the phone from Battle Creek Central Bearcats. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Bill.
Hey, thanks for calling in, Coach. We have Battle Creek Central looking to get ready for a big season here, hopefully a big season of growth. You've had some young rosters the last couple of years, and you still have a relatively young roster, but some of those young players got some varsity minutes last year, and you can only hope that they take the next step. Is that kind of the goal for this early season, to see some young players take the next step and to see some growth in your program?
Yes, that's what we're hoping for, Bill. We continue to be young. We've gotten even younger, I think, in comparison to last year. But some of the guys from last year did get quite a bit of playing time, and there was definitely growth in that area last year. We're bringing in another batch of young guys to go along with the one-year season group that we had from last year. So we'll continue to be young, but we're pretty excited about the opportunity that we have to bring these young guys on and try to, get some experience and work towards, building the program and building for the future.
Battle Creek Central only went 4-15 last year, but what they did do is you kind of turned the page late in the season and brought a lot of those young guys in, threw them into the fire, and they got a lot more varsity minutes at the end of the year. And the result was you won 2 of your last 3 games and saw some progress that way. Those guys are ready to take the next step, hopefully, for you. You do have some experience in senior Randall Gray, a real good all-around athlete. And then you have some sophomores that saw some playing time, Lee Campbell and Mylan Noiri, and that group is your key returners coming back who saw the most minutes last year. Let's talk about those 3 guys and what you are hoping for them to accomplish early in the season.
Yeah, both Lee Campbell and Mylan Noiri were were freshmen on varsity last year, and got quite a few minutes when you talk about a youngster freshman on varsity. So, we started out having to do a lot of teaching, a lot of work with those young guys, but they stepped right in. They learned pretty quickly, and as you mentioned, first part of the season was a lot of teaching, a lot of learning. But as we ended the season last year, those guys were pretty instrumental in us making progress and actually winning a few more games towards the end of the season where we hadn't done early on. As you mentioned, Randall Gray's back. This is actually his third year. We kind of brought him up as a sophomore, so he's probably he's definitely one of the more experienced players that we have. He's pretty athletic, so we're going to hope that he can provide leadership as a third-year player and, help us move the pendulum towards being a decent team towards at least mid to the end of the season and building for the future.
Like you mentioned, you have some young guys that are going to have to fill in the gaps there, continue to be young, and I'm guessing that's some more freshmen coming in for playing time or some sophomores that didn't see varsity minutes last year but are going to be ready for that. Can you talk about a couple of those guys that you're excited about?
Yeah, we have one of our juniors, which I think we only have one junior on the team this year, but Corey Nelson played a significant role on the JV team last year. He's a combo guard, plays really good and hard on both ends, but extremely hard on the defensive end. So, we'll be able to count on him to get out and kind of lead the charge, I think, defensively, because that's what he seems to hang his hat on and take pride with, which you don't get many of those type players these days. Everybody wants the ball and wants to score. But Corey Nelson, a junior this year, we should be able to count on to bring a lot of energy for us on the defensive end. Like you mentioned, the other guys are pretty young. We got some freshmen that are going to start their career out on varsity. Antonio Jones is one of them. Braylon McCoy, who's a all-around athlete, done some nice things as a freshman on the football field this year. As did Aaron Williams, who's a ninth grader as well. And then our fourth freshman on the varsity team this year is Damani Spraggins. So those young men are going to be thrown in the fire and have to learn by trial. But we're hoping that they learn and pick up on the things that we need them to do. And, we look forward and feel pretty confident that we'll have a better season. We'll have a better season as far as wins and losses, I'm pretty sure. But it's not all about that right now. The young guys have to learn, and we know that it's going to be a process as we build for years to come.
Well, that's a lot of to look forward to. Some growth we're hoping for the Bearcats as you go, and some young prospects where people can kind of get excited about and come out the field house and see what the future holds for Battle Creek Central and its basketball program as we kind of merge some experience with some young guys and see the Bearcats get better throughout the season. I appreciate you, Coach, calling in this morning, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk to you when you come back in Coach's Corner next time.
Okay, Bill. Thanks.
Thanks for coming. Yep, we'll be back with our next Coach of the Morning after this break on WBCK 95.3 FM.
Coach's Corner on 95.3 WBCK. Proudly brought to you by Lakeview Ford, where community matters. Here's Coach's Corner.
This is Bill Broderick, sports editor of the Battle Creek Enquirer, back here on Coach's Corner, and we're here with our next Coach of the Morning, Coach Matt Bowling of the Harper Creek Beavers. Good morning, Coach.
Morning, Bill. Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to be back on Coach's Corner with the basketball coaches, and we have a big season to talk about because we had a big season last year for some of our teams, including Harper Creek, a banner season for the Beavers. Share of first place in Interstate 8 Conference, advanced to the district finals, went 18-6 overall. And that was a fun season to watch, and you guys have some key guys coming back from that year and looking to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, it's neat to see those 4 guys are ready to step up and take their turn, and their expectations have it lowered, and what they expect to get down out on the floor is the same standard as where we've been, and hopefully that'll continue. But their work ethic and their grittiness is really shown through so far.
Those key guys coming back, a quartet of guys who saw a lot of playing time last year. Dylan Eversole, your top outside shooter himself, an all-league player. Maddox McCarty, a senior. Cam Converse, a senior. Tegan Turnbull, a senior. So you have some good senior leadership coming back from that team, and they were role players for the most part last year, but now have waited their turn and are looking to take over the program. What are you excited about seeing from those guys?
Well, you pretty much said it. They kind of waited their turn. I mean, Dylan ended up being a starter for us at the end of the year and made a lot of big shots for us. So he kind of has some of that experience coming. And those other guys have experience too. It's just their roles just changed a little bit. They're going to expect a little bit more out of them, and they're going to be the guys carrying the load a little bit. And they'll share that amongst themselves, and they're just ready for it. There's not a lot more to say other than that. They're ready to handle those expectations, and they welcome them. And what's neat is have been in the program, and they see what we've done, and they know what's expected of them and what's expected of others, and their leadership and how they go about their business is very good. And it's very good on how they've set the tone for us for this year. So I'm very pleased with where we are with those guys moving ahead.
And they've had a lot of taste of winning, so that's a plus. So they know
Absolutely.
They know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to play Harbor Creek basketball, and the way you guys want to play to win games, which is not the same as other teams kind of do. And so they know the formula there. And how important is that?
You said it. I mean, first and foremost, they're winners. And then, like you said, the formula and how we have to play because we're very small with a lot of ball movement and defensive pressure and being very physical. That's something that they take pride in, and they've really led us and been pretty verbal with how we do it. And I'm just happy and pleased with where they are right now.
Those guys, we saw a lot to play last year. You're going to need some other guys to kind of step in some roles, and some young guys that are going to come up. Who are some of those key guys that you want to see some progress for early on?
Well, I mean, we want all of them to step up because we got to kind of sort all that stuff out. So that's a good thing too. But we have some juniors. We kind of a team of thirds this year. So we have those 4 seniors, and then we have 5 juniors with Trenton Ray, who can shoot the ball pretty well for us and has done a nice job. Broderick Hanger. Silas Lutsky, Brock Krasinski, who's really improved a bunch, and we're really excited about the year he's going to have, and Colt Matisse, and then 3 sophomores, Logan Converse, Gavin Chapman, and Keeson Trevino. Those 3 guys give us some nice scoring, actually, that sophomore group, and it's just a nice mix of guys we have, and the chemistry. It's just we got to learn what it takes to play varsity basketball, and we scrimmaged last night, and it was the first taste for some of those 8 guys that hadn't had a lot of varsity experience to step up and see what it's like when the bullets are flying and how physical you have to be. The fact that you can't make the same mistake a lot. You can't ball watch. We're playing much bigger opponents, so you can get away with some of those things maybe in practice, and I can talk to you about it, but it doesn't really resonate till that happens. So we had, I thought, a good scrimmage last night. It was something we needed. They needed to experience that. We competed. That's been the thing I've been the proudest about is our effort in practice and how we just play so hard and we compete every day. And what we saw last night was positive, and we can correct a lot of those mistakes that we saw and needed to make, quite frankly, in order for us to get better. So I went home feeling good about our situation after last night.
You are coming off the conference championship, which is a lot of fun to be able to hang a banner with that group, and you shared that title with some other teams that are also bringing back a lot of key guys. So the Interstate 8 is going to be challenging as usual. Let's talk about that conference a little bit and maybe some of your non-conference schedule. What are you looking forward to the most in terms of that schedule?
Well, you look at the league, like you said, it's very balanced and competitive. And, Marshall returns a few guys, same situation we are. Coldwater has some guys back in their same roles, and then the Penfield guys are back, and they're going to, I'm sure, shoulder some of the same roles. That's going to be competitive and difficult night in and night out. And our non-league schedule has really been it's really tougher this year. It's been beefed up. Some by our choice, some not by our choice. So every night it's going to be a challenge for us, and we're having hands full every night. And as long as we go out and compete and we play our brand of basketball, we'll let the chips fall where they may. But what we're really looking for is effort and how we play.
So that leads to my next question. What with this group, the seniors that are coming back who didn't see a ton of playing time, but were role players, and then some young guys mixed in, what do you want to see early on that knows that you're on the right track?
Well, it all starts with effort and our chemistry, and we've demonstrated that we're going to play hard, and then we're going to give great effort, and then the chemistry needs to continue to grow. They want to play well together. It's just they haven't played a lot of time together. So we'll keep getting better in that, and we need to get better on the floor with communication and and taking care of the ball. Those things I think we'll get better at. And like I said, everything that I saw last night that was like, ooh. But the good news, the same thing I told the kids, it was all correctable. Everything that might have been kind of painful for us in the moment were all correctable mistakes that we will address and that we needed to have happen. So I'm excited about what it is. It's just like I said, the only problem is we got smaller this year. The one thing that has increased is our physicality. So we're small, we're fast, and we'll get after you, and we'll be physical. So those are all things that are great things and that we can build off of our strengths.
A lot of defense and a lot of hustle, which things that you all you have to do is work hard to get those things figured out, and that's what Harper Creek is kind of leaning on this year, right? Yeah,
we're definitely defense is going to have to be our calling card because that travels and that never goes away, and that kind of effort, and then we need to score the ball a little better around the rim. That we saw that last night. That's going to have to get better, and we have some capable shooters, so. We got some guys that'll hopefully knock down some shots and get that going, but scoring around the rim is going to have to be a point of emphasis for us moving forward, along with taking care of the ball on the offensive side of it. But as long as we play our style of defense and we get after you and we have relentless ball pressure and we're physical on the glass, I think good things are going to happen for us.
Well, we're excited about the Harper Creek Beavers season coming off that league title, looking to keep momentum going, and we'll see what happens, Coach. Thanks for coming in.
Sounds good. Thanks, Bill. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too. We'll be back with our next Coach of the Morning after this break on WBCK 95.3 FM.
Yeah.
It's never too early for Lowe's Black Friday deals. Snag some of our biggest savings of the season right now, like 25% off select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees. And get yourself free select DeWalt, Cobalt, or Craftsman tools when you buy a select battery or combo kit before the Black Friday rush. Because everyone loves free stuff, right? Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Dashing through the store, Dave's looking for a gift. One you can't ignore, but not the socks he picked.
I know, I'm putting them back.
Hey Dave, here's a tip. Put Scratchers on your list.
Oh, Scratchers. Good idea.
It's an easy shopping trip. We're glad we could assist.
Thanks, random singing people.
So be like Dave this holiday and give the gift of play. Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day.
Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Coach's Corner on WBCK. Brought to you by Lakeview Ford, where community matters. Now back to the show.
This is Bill Broderick, sports editor of the Battle Creek Enquirer, back here on Coach's Corner. We're here with our next Coach of the Morning, Coach Steve Wickman of the Lakeview Spartans. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
We're doing real good.
Good.
Lakeview is coming off another district title, which is a lot to be excited about. Back-to-back district titles for the Spartans. But you said goodbye to a big group of seniors and suffer some heavy graduation loss. So he has a lot of new players coming in. But that's happened the last couple of years for you, and you've been able to rotate some guys in who kind of found their stride as you kind of got going. So talk about this season and what you're excited about a little bit.
Yeah, you say that we lost a lot of seniors, and you're right. And I think back to the year before last, and we lost a lot of seniors, and we've always been able to put the pieces back together, and we feel like I just have a lot of pride in our program that we have people that can come in and fill spots and do things for us. And this year I hope is no different. We're very young with playing experience this year. So that'll be, we found that out last night. We scrimmaged, and we need to be able to slow down. We need to be able to understand the level of play that has to go on in a varsity game, and I think we'll get there. But it was good to see that last night in the scrimmage and find out what we need to work on today. So we got really 4 seniors back from last year's team. Isaiah McFerrin and Tavion Newton played quite a bit for us last year, so we're leaning on them quite heavily to lead the other guys. And Tavion's a good he's a good leader by example, but more also he's a talker, and he's done a great job with talking to these younger guys and trying to help them through situations. And Zay doesn't say a whole lot, but he just plays hard. So he's our leader by example guy, and very pleased with both of those guys so far with their leadership quality. And then Owen Davis is a young man that came off the bench for us, played a little backup point guard last year. Didn't play tons of minutes, and now we're expecting him to be our starting point guard and play a lot of minutes. And so that's a role that he's going to have to kind of feel his way through, because it's a lot easier to be coming off the bench and not have a lot of expectations and just, go in the game, manage the game, make layups, take good open shots. But now you're kind of the man a little bit. And so, we'll see how Owen, I think he'll handle it fine. He's had a great summer. He's worked very, very hard and to improve his game and to improve his mental awareness and those types of things. And then our last senior coming back is Landon Gordon, who did not play much last year, but we're looking to come in. He's a really, really good defender, and he's another guy who's a vocal leader as well as a leader by example. So that core group of 4 guys is we're I'm really leaning heavily on them. It was interesting last night that we got done with our first scrimmage, and in between the first one and the second one, those guys grabbed our team and talked them through all kinds of different things, trying to prepare them for our next scrimmage. I didn't say a word, and I looked at my assistant coach and I said, "That's good. That's good stuff right there, right? You want, we want our team to be player led as much as possible." So that's cool. That's cool to see. So I'm not worried about the leadership part, but you can't. The experience. You can't do anything about that until you do it. Right. Like Matt and I were talking earlier, you don't know what you don't know. So we also have another senior, Gavin Deal, who's coming back. He did not play last year, and then decided he kind of missed it and wanted to come back. And I think he's going to give us some big minutes too. And he's very smart, plays very hard, and just kind of knows his role. From there, we got 5 juniors: Jelon Graham, Carter Jenkins, Sean O'Donnell, Nolan Porter, and Taylor Rhodes, who all are capable, all have good ability, all have certain things they do very well, and they all have things that they have to figure out, and so those guys are all coming off the JV. So, the leap, the leap, as we call it, from JV to freshman or from JV to varsity, is a big leap, and you don't know until you get there. But Sean's been playing really hard and playing really well, and he's a rebounding force for us. And I think Jelon Graham is going to step up. I think that's a name that people will hear as we go through the season. That he may be our most gifted basketball player. I mean, he's got a little bit of everything. So just kind of looking forward to seeing how all this stuff goes together. And how we can put people in the right places.
Yeah, you lose a ton of scoring. You lost a 1,000-point score. You lose a ton of size. You had a big front line that took care of a lot of your rebounding for you. So a lot of question marks for you. And so when you come into the season and you want to keep some momentum from that winning, those guys were around the program last year and saw the winning. How much can they get from the exterior a little bit, from the fringes, to get that taste of that and to add to this year's team to make sure you can keep that going?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think, the guys that were there last year and on the team and went through it with the senior class that left, I think they want that again. I think they expect that again, but they also know that you can't just expect it and get it, right? Or want it and get it. You have to do the things that you need to do to get there. So I think they're excited to have their time, and see if they can continue what we've been doing the last few years here of, winning more than we lose and, being in a spot to win districts and actually winning the last couple. And, they've talked about that already. Like, we don't want to be the guys that stop the streak right now. So I'm excited about that.
Excited about you have to look at the East Division and how that kind of plays out, and then some non-conference schedule. What games are you excited about coming up this year? What are you kind of looking forward to?
Well, right now I'm just excited about game 1 against Marshall and see how that goes. There's always the Fieldhouse game with Harper over Christmas is one of that. We always look forward to that. That's kind of a celebration for us. We go out to breakfast and just kind of bond as a team and stuff. So that's a good thing. But realistically, right now, I'm not looking forward to too many, ahead to too many games and trying to put, asterisk by this game or that game. We have our own issues to worry about and trying to make ourselves better and hopefully, get out there and compete and make our team a team.
What are you going to want to see early on to let you know that you're on the right track with this young group? Because that's going to be key for you.
Yeah. Well, what I found out last night is one of the things that we have to do is slow down. We want to play fast, but when you're in your half-court offense, I think we had a lot of guys that 48. We had a lot of guys that were, and not in a negative sense, but a little bit selfish and wanted to do things on their own. And so hopefully we'll work on that and get better at that. We scrimmage again next week, so it'll be another benchmark for us.
Well, a lot to be excited about the Lakeview Spartans coming out back-to-back district titles. A lot to look forward to and seeing some new guys and some new roles. Seeing if the senior class can kind of come in and ride that momentum and see what we have to look forward to with Lakeview Spartans. I appreciate you coming in, Coach.
All right, thanks, Bill. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving to you, too. That's it for Coach's Corner this week. We'll be off next week for Thanksgiving. We'll be back to Saturday after that for the rest of the...
Lowe's early Black Friday deals are going fast. Don't miss up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, up to an extra 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. And with Christmas around the corner, you're going to need more string lights, right? Save $4 on GE LED 100-count string lights, now just $5.98. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. Select locations only while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.